The silent legend, Peter Brandt's mastery of patience in trading. Welcome, dear readers and traders, to Think Big channel. There are moments in life when the weight of the world feels crushing, when you stand before the vast, unrelenting market and feel small. Small against its chaos, small against its unpredictability, and small in the shadow of your own decisions. In those quiet, introspective moments, you may find yourself asking, am I on the right path? Is this endless waiting worth it? Am I chasing a dream that was never mine, squandering my youth, my confidence, or the last dollars in my trading account? These questions aren't yours alone. They've haunted countless traders, including a silver-haired man with a serene demeanor, living quietly amidst the rolling hills of Colorado. The trading world knows him with quiet reverence as Peter Brandt, a name synonymous with discipline, wisdom, and the art of patience. Peter Brandt's trading journey didn't begin with fireworks or fanfare. There was no meteoric rise from a blown-up account to millions, no bold promises of doubling your capital in 30 days or escaping poverty in 2 months. Instead, his story is one of extraordinary patience, a rare, disciplined resolve that carried him through over 4 decades in the markets. In an era where traders chase the next holy grail, be it the perfect strategy, the most efficient price pattern, or a cutting-edge AI-driven trading bot, Peter chose a different path. He returned to the essentials, a clean chart, a straightforward strategy, a disciplined mind, and a patience so steadfast it could weather any market storm. When aspiring traders ask, how do you succeed in trading, the answers often sound familiar: manage your risk, control your emotions, build a robust trading system, set clear stop losses and take profits. These are truths, but they're only part of the equation. Beyond the charts, indicators, and risk management frameworks lies the one quality that separates those who survive from those who burn out: patience. Not the fleeting kind that lasts a few hours in a trading session, but the deep, enduring patience that defines a career. The catch? Patience can't be downloaded from a course, copied from a spreadsheet, or borrowed from a Telegram signal group. It's forged in the crucible of experience, earned through years of watching, waiting, and learning that stillness is not weakness, it's power. This is why Peter Brandt's story captivates. It's not about the size of his fortune or the precision of his market calls, but about how he navigated 4 decades with a clear mind, a warm heart, and an ego that knew when to step back. I recall a quote of his that stayed with me for days: like a beacon in the fog, you may think you're losing because you lack skill, but the truth is, you only need to master one thing: waiting. In a world obsessed with speed, where traders strive to be faster, sharper, and more efficient, Peter chose to slow down. While others traded compulsively, he observed. When others grew restless, chasing setups that weren't there, he let the market speak. When panic gripped those who saw the market defy their expectations, he quietly closed his laptop, stepped away, and returned to his charts only when clarity emerged. Wherever you are in your trading journey, whether you're riding a wave of profits, grappling with a string of losses, confident in a flawless system, or doubting if the market is for you, I pose one question: are you willing to be patient? Not just for a single trade, but for the entire journey. Patient with your early mistakes, patient with drawdowns that feel endless, patient with your own growth when you know you're not yet great, and patient with a market that owes you nothing, no matter how many books you've studied or webinars you've attended. This is the lesson Peter Brandt embodies, a man who never sought to be a legend, but became one by living simply, trading deliberately, and enduring long enough to understand that success in trading isn't about quick wins, it's about never giving up. Picture a young Peter Brandt in his early 20s, living in a modest rented apartment in Chicago during the 1970s. The financial markets of that era were a far cry from today's high-speed, tech-driven world. There was no internet, no real-time digital charts, no algorithmic trading platforms. The markets moved at a slower pace, fueled by handwritten orders, paper records, fax machines, and traders hunched over black and white photocopied charts, analyzing price movements by hand. Peter didn't enter the industry with a burning passion for trading, he was driven by curiosity. He recalls his first encounter with commodity price charts, those jagged, wave-like lines that seemed to dance across the page. He didn't understand them, but he was mesmerized, not by the promise of wealth or fame, but by the way those lines captured the ebb and flow of human psychology, distilled into patterns, trends, and rules. His first job was at a commodity trading firm, where he was tasked with the unglamorous work of plotting daily price data by hand and passing charts to senior traders for analysis. He wasn't allowed to trade or offer insights, he was a behind-the-scenes cog in the machine. Yet those months of meticulously drawing charts planted a seed that would define his career. By observing hundreds of charts daily, he began to see that the market wasn't the chaotic beast it appeared to be. It had a language of its own, a rhythm, a cadence, and to understand it, you couldn't rush. Like learning a foreign tongue, it demanded listening, stumbling, and long periods of silence before speaking fluently. In those quiet hours, Peter learned his first and most enduring lesson: to survive in trading, you must slow down. At the time, he had no grand visions of becoming a celebrated trader, let alone a global icon. He simply wanted to decode the market's language, free from the pressure to prove himself or chase quick profits. While his peers rushed into trades, eager to make their mark, Peter sat back and watched. Years later, he carried this habit into his trading career, dedicating hours each morning to studying charts without placing a single order, just observing, noting, and asking, "What is the price telling me today?" When someone challenged him, "How do you make money like that?" he replied with a quiet smile, "To make money, first learn not to lose it. And to avoid losing, you must learn to stand still." Consider your own trading. How many times have you lost money because you acted too quickly, fearing a missed opportunity, chasing someone else's gains, trying to recover a loss, or trading just to feel like you're doing something? Peter Brandt's wealth wasn't built on haste. It was forged through quiet, relentless consistency. He didn't trade every day. Some months, he placed only 1 or 2 trades. But each was chosen with the precision of a master craftsman, not driven by emotion or pressure, but by a clear alignment of market conditions. He didn't rely on flashy technology or complex algorithms, just a simple chart, a statistically sound strategy, and a mind honed to remain calm amid the market storms. Peter Brandt's approach stands in stark contrast to the frenetic pace of modern trading. In a world where speed is king, where traders compete to enter orders faster, exit trades more timely, or react to news in milliseconds, Peter was an outlier. He traded alone, without chat groups, forums, or signal services. It was just him, his charts, a few handwritten notes, a cup of coffee, and a profound sense of calm. His trading journal tells the story. There were weeks, even months, with no trades, just sparse notes like, "No clear pattern yet, price action incomplete," or "Market in consolidation." For most traders, such periods of inactivity would spark anxiety, a compulsion to act just to feel alive. But for Peter, doing nothing was a deliberate choice, a disciplined act of preparation. He once waited nearly 3 months to place a single trade, a decision he later called his most rewarding of the year. It wasn't the largest profit he'd ever made, but it was the trade where everything aligned, the pattern was clear, the risk was minimal, and his mindset was unshakable. Many traders overlook the importance of mental clarity, but Peter explained it simply: "I don't trade to make money at all costs. I trade to survive. And to survive, I must keep my mind at peace." During a market crash triggered by unexpected news, while others panicked and scrambled to cut losses, Peter did nothing. He sat with his charts, took notes, and then stepped outside for a walk in a nearby park. "If you can't keep your mind steady in a storm," he said, "you'll be swept away before the market even has a chance to defeat you." That calm allowed him to spot a recovery pattern earlier than most. While others were still reeling from fear, he was ready to enter a precise, trend-following trade that capitalized on the market's rebound. Peter Brandt wasn't just a trader, he was a Zen master in the financial world. Trading, to him, wasn't a battle to outsmart the market or outpace others. It was a journey of finding stillness amid chaos. He likened it to meditation. You don't force enlightenment. You simply show up, fully present, and let the truth reveal itself. The fewer distractions in your mind, the clearer you see the market. His charts were sparse, no clutter of indicators, no complex systems, just price, volume, and patience. His trading journal often contained blank weeks, a testament to his discipline. To him, not trading was as intentional as trading itself. Perhaps the most striking chapter of Peter's story is the 14 months he went without a single profitable trade. Yes, over a year with no gains, a stretch that would break most traders. In a world where a month of drawdowns can spark despair or a frantic search for a new guru, Peter remained unshaken. He didn't abandon his system, didn't chase new strategies, and most importantly, didn't lose his composure. He called it purposeful stillness, the understanding that profits don't come from constant tinkering but from mastering one method and sticking with it long enough to let it work. I've been there myself. In 2019, after just over a year of trading, I was still green but fiercely confident in my system. The first month brought modest gains, the second broke even, but the third and fourth were brutal losses. By the fifth month, doubt crept in. By the sixth, I abandoned my system, dabbling in price action, which flopped, then news trading, which torched my account. I returned to my original system, but my confidence was shattered, and it took 6 more months to regain my footing, carrying deeper psychological scars than before. Looking back, I wonder, if I had Peter Brandt's stillness, could I have held on to my faith? Could I have avoided those costly detours? Many traders mistake stillness for passivity, but Peter's approach proves otherwise. Stillness is the ultimate form of discipline, a conscious choice to control impulses, resist the urge to act, and wait for clarity. He once said, "I don't trade every day. I trade when the pattern is clear. I don't need endless opportunities, just a few each year, but they must be undeniable." To find those moments, he waited weeks, sometimes months, without forcing trades or inventing setups. He observed, he documented, and he stayed patient. If you're a trader, you know how hard that is. We're wired to fear missing out, haunted by the thought that if we don't act today, the market will leave us behind. Peter Brandt traded like a sniper, not a machine gunner. He didn't fire at every shadow. He waited until the setup was perfect, clear pattern, confirmed volume, minimal risk. One story stands out, a cup-and-handle pattern in the agricultural commodities market. He tracked it for nearly 3 months as the price rose, corrected, and consolidated. Others jumped in early, betting on a breakout, only to lose when the pattern faltered. Peter waited for the confirming candle, the volume surge, the precise alignment of his time-tested setup. When he finally entered, the trade delivered a massive profit, not because it was the biggest, but because it was the culmination of 3 months of disciplined observation. While others entered, lost, and gave up, Peter's stillness wasn't passive, it was preparation. This is the question for you: are you patient enough to wait, or are you forcing the market to fit your timeline? Trading isn't about proving how skilled you are, it's about showing how much you can restrain yourself. Peter's journal was meticulous. Before every trade, he asked, "Why am I entering? Can I accept the loss if it fails? Am I seeing a real opportunity, or am I just bored?" If any answer was unclear, he closed his laptop and went for a walk. In a world of traders shouting about seizing opportunities and winning fast, the image of a man quietly studying charts, waiting for the perfect moment, is strikingly different. Yet that man survived 5 market crashes, 3 major financial crises, and over 40 years in the game. So, I ask you, trader, if the market offers no clarity today, do you have the courage to close your screen, take a walk, breathe deeply, and accept that you don't need to trade? Trading isn't for those who always need to act. It's for those who know when to act and when to wait. And if you embrace that stillness, it transforms into something more, a sharpened intuition that knows the exact moment to strike, neither too early nor too late. I don't know where you are in your trading journey. You might be a novice, staring at a screen of red, wondering if you'll ever get it right. Or perhaps you're seasoned, with wins and losses under your belt, but facing doubts that linger unspoken. Wherever you are, I want to say thank you. Not just for reading this, but for taking your journey seriously. Trading is a brutal path, not just of buys and sells, but of faith in yourself. To keep that faith through years of volatility, you need more than knowledge. You need patience. You need stillness. You need to learn to live with the market as a companion, not a prey to be hunted. Peter Brandt did that for over 40 years, and I share his story not to idolize him, but to show you a real person, with real struggles, on a real path that's far from the polished promises of 99% win rate systems. He faced years of losses, months of silence, and periods of flat accounts, yet he never quit, never chased fads, and never let the market change who he was. If you've ever felt weak, lost, or ready to give up, you're not alone. I've been there, staring at screens for 12 hours, switching systems, avoiding my account out of fear, and questioning if I should walk away. But I stayed, not because I was better than anyone else, but because I learned to breathe before hitting the buy button, to observe when the market was unclear, and to write in my journal every night, even on days I didn't trade. When I first read about Peter's 14-month profitless streak, I cried, not for him, but for myself. I saw my own struggles in his story, and I realized that losing money hurts, but losing faith in yourself cuts deeper. That moment changed me. I stopped chasing perfection and started seeking truth. I began writing, sharing stories like this, hoping that if someone had told me these lessons years earlier, I might have avoided a few scars. If this story resonates with you, even in the smallest way, an idea, a spark, a reminder that you're not alone, then it's served its purpose. I'm no guru. I can't teach you how to get rich. I'm just a trader with a decade of battle scars, sharing what I've seen on this road. If you're lost, unsure whether to push forward or step back, give yourself a moment of stillness. Don't decide when your mind is turbulent. Do what Peter Brandt did for decades, live with the market, not against it. You don't need to trade every day or catch every wave. You just need to be there, ready, when the moment is right. And if someone asks why you chose this grueling, solitary path of trading, smile and say, because in that solitude, I found myself. There are more stories to tell, of great traders, of ordinary people like you and me who fell, rose, and kept going. These aren't tales of fairy tale wins, but of real struggles, quiet lessons, and the resilience to endure. Stay tuned for more, because somewhere in these stories, you might find not a magical system, but a perspective that's deep, honest, and truly touches you. I make no grand promises, only this, I'll keep sharing with all the honesty I have. Thank you for joining me to the end. If this story moved you, share it, not for me, but for someone out there who needs a light in their darkness.